Hi everyone, Dale Pinkert here from TradeGATEHub.com, powered by TradeView. Every Tuesday, Mike and I get together for Tuesday Tech, Tuesday Trade, Tuesday Talk, and great to be back with you, Mike. I look forward to it every day. I just want to start off with a couple of macro things. So look at where the S&P failed from here, from the old breakdown of last week. I know last week you were getting long in here. I tried it a couple times. The inter-day ranges were amazing last week, Mike. I mean, there was one day we were up 100 handles from the low and gave it all back in the same day.
You know what? Like I said, and I posted this, I articulated this sometime this week. You know, we've had in the month of May have 2% ranges top to bottom. Happened 4 times in the month of May. It only happened 2 times in like 2017. So listen, getting back to what we've been saying, this has been more of a market where you learn more about yourself, really. In this type of market, and evidenced by myself, and I'm not alone, doesn't make it right, that you can lose if you're wrong. This is the type of market your losses exacerbate multiple times over what you can make, because it's human nature and even trader mindset, if you will. It's the hardest thing to overcome. I don't think you'll disagree, is that this is a market where you're against yourself, like in TradeGATEHub. And what we post here, stock selection is the least of our problems. Even the guys here are getting better at stock selection. So, this is a time where I learn more about myself, and even where we're going to TradeGate, to saying, and you and I are articulating, there are things that I've been saying, I haven't seen this more in the last 6 months, literally, give or take a decade, that I have in 20 years. So the playbook and the market has, the playbook sometimes changes, and I'm learning more than I ever have. And you know what I mean? It's the market. The reason why I was buying, like you pointed out, Coach, is the market never, especially in these conditions, never give you the perfect setup. They never give you the gap. They close poorly on Friday, and they give the beautiful gap down on Monday. And like we always say, the margin calls usually run through to 10:30, and then everybody buys the dip and continues into turnaround Tuesday. That doesn't happen. And with the ranges,
you had a 3850 number, Mike. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but I remember when we were down here talking about 3850. I think the reason you had it, some technicians' reasons, is it's a 38% correction from the pandemic low. Okay, right. So that's a big number. And so the big number now is something you were bringing up with unprecedented type of ranges in May so far, is that you also have to take it when you have it. Maybe not all of it, but if I make a call and the S&P is rally 100 handles, if you didn't make money on that, you need to close your account.
I'm going to tell you what I did do, and it keeps me in the game. Besides TradeView's confidence, and that holds a lot of water, obviously. And I'm going to write down a couple of things here. The minis are several handles above where I sold some of these technology stocks, and they're obviously, you know what I mean. I had a stock go from 18 to 22 in a day and a half, and my average price was 24. And I took it off at 22. Now it's actually, I took a small position again. Now it's 20% lower.
Right.
What makes great trade. I want to get into specific trades, because just like Ben says, everybody loves a good scrimmage. I want to get into trading, and I'll stop pontificating until I make a couple of points here. First of all, if you don't have a TradeView demo account, you're going to learn more than you. You know how we say I'd rather learn more in a storm than I would in a puddle. These are storms. When the minis are having 50 handle moves a day. First of all, I learned, without rules. Let me digress. Without rules, there's chaos. I implemented a rule. I don't think I've implemented a rule on myself in whatever it is, a long time. And I even implemented a rule here that I probably should have implemented a long time ago. Every trader gets a little bit ahead of yourself. But judging by what we said here, even these losses are getting exacerbated. Sometimes even 2 times as more as the dot-com bubble, as I posted, a couple of times here. So, you know what I mean? Learn
So
about
the
your.
averages can come back, Mike, and you could be in the wrong issue, and it, may be a good day for it is not down a lot.
Well, you know
Do you
what?
know? Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
these low floaters are not going today. Why? Because you could have a lot of goods. You could have Citibank on sale, which is up 10%. You could have the reason why you have to be trained and have to be aware is, you could have 10,000 shares of one of these low float stocks that are up 20%. But you know what? They're all down today because everybody's going to jump into quality because there's a reason. So, and I'm in a stock today, it's actually negative. So I thought, I was going to come here today and thought I was going to get out into something. And unfortunately, I did the opposite. But I just wanted to free up capital because what's happening today in this environment, we've all seen that our greatest acumen. I don't think anybody in the room would lie. Is that I'm a very good a day trader or 1 or 2 day trades. So I'm taking losses to free up on some dead things just because I know that the market environment is allowing me to. What my point being is I'm taking off winners to compensate for losers, and that's the opposite. But I'm in the wrong sector. That's why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So continue.
It's okay to be wrong, not stay wrong. Mike.
No, like this is more of a cliche market than it ever had.
Yeah.
This is more of a cliche market than it's ever been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The last 2 years, but the trend is your friend. Everything went parabolic to the upside.
Right.
That's all you needed to know. Now it's don't average down. Now it's stay with the trend, best of breed. Now it's don't let a trade turn into a trade turn into a position. The 10 commandments of trading are all evident more than ever in the last 6 months. So I don't want to pontificate, but this is a time when you should. The board's flying. Anybody could pick a winner. You know what I mean?
It's also an important time to be able to diagnose where the relative strength and where the relative weakness is in the market. Earlier this week, I showed that the Russell was beginning to outperform S&P and NASDAQ, and today's another day, Russell up 1.75 with NASDAQ up 1.17, S&P is up 1.13. To me, that's a little shift in character I haven't seen for a while, and that means they're going to. How would you define Russell 2000 stocks, Mike? What kind of stocks are they?
I'm going to define this. First of all, I'll go to the board, and everybody should know that what encompasses.
You want the screen? Let me.
No, I want to do. I want to stop. I want to. Once I'll get to the screen in a second because once the screen hits, it's like Christmas. Boom, everything's flat. So I don't want to get distracted.
Okay. All right.
Okay, this is the problem that I have in the Russell being the IWM being strong.
Okay.
I fear that initial conversation we had doesn't mean it's right. It's how I'm playing it. About testing the 38, the 35, 3,600 level. Still today, I still think there has to be some final capitulation. Even
okay, you're talking S&Ps now. And
yeah, there are multiple places to hide.
Remember, we were talking about it and it seemed like miles away up here. From this failing rally. And I said, eventually I think we're going here.
You know what, Coach? The biggest moves are made at the ends. All this happened the last week and a half.
Yeah.
Some of these stocks that I avoided, like I said, I am going to share the screen. Can we switch?
All right, go ahead. I think they're going to, this rally, even though they're taking it down, we're not going to take out 3850 and we're going to rally into month's end, maybe into early June in front of the Fed. And I could see 4,200. If we get through that 4080 level, this level right here, guys, this is where, and we're pulling back from it. So bears are going to feel confident, but we could just have a 50% correction off this pop and put in a higher low. And then next time it attacks this resistance level, I think you'll see probably in a matter of days, 42, 4,300. It'll be such a short squeeze, Mike. Have you ever seen a short squeeze where the shorts are squeezed so hard that their eyeballs pop out of their head?
No, but I've been part of a short squeeze where I've only had a drink inshore for about 2 weeks. Believe me, that was the JKS episode of 2018.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, that's it. And the only other last thing I want to cover is that, I've been looking for this washout in silver for a long time. And, I didn't exactly have the greatest RSI setup, but it went to my number and I'm there. The gold silver ratio has turned, and I know it's early and one week doesn't make a trend, but I think that the gold and silver need to be accumulated. They're not rocketing yet, but you buy them when no one wants them. I still think no one wants them.
I started nibbling in the long-term trade view fund, if you will.
Okay.
And the first position that I took today was I took positions in Alcoa, as the room will attest to yesterday, because there was enormous. Where's the screen? Am I
Well,
sharing this?
I'm gonna let you take it now.
Share screen. What am I doing here?
Yeah, you're
Go
sharing
to
your
it. Yeah, I want to go to the TradeView site first of all. TradeGATEHub. Let me share again. The position that I took was in Alcoa, and that's because of all this. We got it, Lewis. I'm going to answer all your questions. That's most important, because without the audience, we're no one. No, I'll get to you, Lewis. The position I took was Alcoa. I took a position again in Newmont Mining. I'll share. You know why? Why did I take a position in Newmont?
Best of breed.
Brilliant. That's exactly why. And you know what? Here's the screen right here. It's got the 200-day. Listen, I think with this market rotation and being evidenced like there's always a place to hide, and always a place to hide, meaning here, I'll show my main page. And this is what we call the trade view menu. You're not going to be short of what to do here. Here are all our retailers. Here are our cryptos. And these are all the top ones that you should know. And what I've also, and if I go off on tangents, I apologize. And if some people say that's too little, JD going back again, it was negative. That's the one you have to watch out. Here's what I also go again on my watch list. So for example, here's my favorite list. So here are my retailers: Walmart, Target, Kohl's. Go to the watch list. These are the ancillary ones right underneath. So if I see, for example, retailers going, I go, boom, there's my watch list. So there's Dillard's, there's J-Win, there's Gap, there's Crocs. So what I'm saying is it's important to have the plan and everything set up. There is the trade view menu. We're not going to be, like I said, you're not going to be short of ideas. Here are the U.S. movers. Go to the trade view channel and just pause it. There's JMIA. I mentioned this morning for short squeeze, coach.
Nice.
Hold on a second. Here's JMIA at 620. Let's go to TradeGATEHub, just some value added. I have to do it.
Take it. It's a 3 drive.
It is.
Take it.
What's I say?
Take
JMIA. It's a dog, but if they squeeze it a lot, it's a gauge of the squeeze stocks. So there's JMIA. To no surprise. These are little hints and tells. Yeah. JMIA, I wouldn't buy it with your money, coach, but it's still up 25%. You know what I mean? So that's an indication that the other squeeze ones might go. So if I'm going off on tangents, and I will apologize. What's going on there with you? Here's one I'm here. Okay, so here's ASN. Okay, so let's give an example. Here are the Qs the past week.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Qs, they're at the high for the week.
Yeah.
ASAN was part of I think the move is, the down move is open, but the high of the week, ASN was 25 3 days ago, and now it's 20 as the NASDAQ is at the high of the week. So the NASDAQ and the QQQs are at the high, and this stock is literally 20% off this high. So you know what? When it made a move like that, I'm prone to taking moves. Sometimes the day trader mentality in me, sometimes what makes you good, what makes you bad, but I take moves. I didn't think Asana would go down 40% in a week, so I was stuck in it. So I took a little, as I said, I think my average cost was whatever it is. I went from being down 6 figures to taking a small nominal loss. But, I took the move. Just like you said, people are going to be upset. Normally my mom would ask me, you must be doing great today. But you know what? I said, no, I'm still stuck in Asana from 2 days ago when the NASDAQ's breaking higher. So I'm actually.
To me, that's not a good sign long term for the stock that it can't participate.
No, I'll give you another one. Here is a perfect example of always places to hide. JD went negative, by the way. Home Depot, here's Walmart. All right. Walmart is saying I'm down more than 10% today on 2 times volume. It's only 11:15, an hour and 45 minutes. Walmart is saying that I'm more than a trade here. It's speaking volumes. And why? Because one of our favorite shorts has been Target. Let me get all these lines here. And you
Mike,
know
I've
what?
never seen as many, here we go again. I
Cross
haven't
currents.
seen. Yeah, no, just get huge gap downs that don't give people a chance to get out without taking catastrophic hits. I mean, you go back to Amazon and Facebook and every one of them. And now this one, like kind of a, not even a fang. And it gaps like that. I mean, look at how many people are trapped in price above that gap. And
But
they're
it
not going
closed.
to get out. They won't
No,
sell
no.
it here.
This will take, and believe me, I some stocks I am like this is a 6 months at least turnaround situation.
Yeah,
And it's the same with Zoom. So
it's
Zoom's
like a
going,
heart attack.
no, it's
Some stocks go down like they have, you know, uh, you know, a terminal disease, and it
but you know
takes
what? If
time. Others, it's a shock, and it's like an auto. It's an auto wreck. A
well,
chart like
Netflix did
that.
the same thing. One of the best trades of the year, and I would urge everybody to really look at it, Google it, was when Ackman's biggest position was Netflix.
Oh yeah, and he
He
got out.
sold it right on the open. He says, I'm out of it.
Yeah,
And he says, I'm out of it. And it was at 250 and it was getting annihilated. You know what? And the stock went to 150. It was one of the best losses, and it was one of the best displays of not putting your ego aside and saying I'm wrong. And by the way, the guy saved himself probably, I don't know how many hundreds of millions, and saved himself another 50%. He did say, I'm selling it right now, 250 to 170. And that's on top of being down from 750. The stock's down 85%. So
I bring this up to people. People are always afraid of selling the bottom and buying the top, and I go, well, that's as likely as you picking the top or picking the bottom.
well, is it, you
You
know
know,
what?
so
It's another cliche derivative market. You know what the other one is? You can always buy it back.
yeah, yeah,
I always use these cliches sometimes to eat up time
they're
in the
not, they're
webcast. And
wisdom.
now they're actually relevant.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Uh,
when you have a one-way street, everyone was a genius. They
so
were passive investors. They bought the spider, and went away.
well, you know what?
That's all they had to do. They didn't need an expert. They were experts.
I'll give you another cross current today, and it could be let's look over what's going here.
And
Uh, it's another cross current was right here, Home Depot versus Walmart. So Walmart opened down whatever 6%. Home Depot opened to 310. So Home Depot opened up I think it was like 3%. So once the
wow,
Home Depot went, I mean, that's from Home Depot to go from
yeah.
310 to, I mean, reverse on news, breaking all moving averages, just like Walmart. It's saying a little, it's saying some, more. It's saying more than just Walmart's weak. Walmart is one of the top five, arguably, gauges of the economy outside Amazon and maybe Chevron, Texaco, and maybe Apple. So I mean, you got to keep your eye on that one.
And retail sales came in not bad, a little above expectations, but I don't know about you. I'm hearing people talk. I don't commute, but can you imagine, like, people that commute still and have to fill up their gas tank 2-3 times a week?
It's not worse than taking the Long Island Railroad, I'll tell you, especially when they did away with the bar car. So nothing's
Oh,
worse than that, trust me.
when they got rid of that, see, COVID ruined that too.
Well, they did away with it. Square Investor Day. So you know what? I want to point out a couple of things and get to what's going on today, because the most important point that I will make, and it is the most important point, if I'm being redundant, I won't apologize, is this. Let me make sure I'm sharing TradeGATEHub.
You are.
And it's this, the red button right there. See that red, the red,
Yeah,
that red button? It's
I
like
see it.
behind the green door. What was that
Yeah.
that thing?
Oh
Okay.
God, that was Marilyn Chambers.
Yeah. Well, this is all, the red button is this. Okay. So go back, this is all you need. This is what it's part is trader DNA to go off of, because it's your personal profile. And in this market, by the way, you got to consolidate. You can't be throwing around 4 or 5 styles, because you might be doing 2 or 3 2 or 3 well, but that one that makes you step out and do something, maybe hedge an option, it's just don't do it. Start with it. I'm sure you have a TradeView market, a demo to at least trade some options on a demo. Okay. This is where you learn more about yourself than ever. So you know what? Here are our videos. This is our trader DNA, right? 23 hours ago, 1 day ago, 3 days ago. This is what we do. It's going back months and months and months. So one of the best amenities we have, and I'm going to stop going through the routine so much because we're building an audience. Hold on, Lewis. Is this is our go back and press the red button because that tells you what I said yesterday. So I don't have to say I told you so or I'm wrong. You know what I mean? So I can get back to what's going on today. Walmart, good idea. Gerard, you were right. Here's an eye on VERU. So look, even for the active trader, we bring you something. Here's VERU. VERU.
Translation for a nice trade, a nice call, and then you say to your public, hope you caught it. Translation is, I know you missed it, ha ha ha. All right, so we don't do that here. There's always another trade.
No, that's the kid that gets that's bad karma. Okay.
Crazy.
I want to give you another example of something that I took off a winner. And by the way, that I look at it now, this is going to really upset me. Hold on. All right. So what did I say? One of my core trades, and it is one of my bread and butter trades. This is one of the things I do good at, but the reason is it hasn't been working lately. So here it is.
And before you sign off,
gonna scoop up this GLB after hours if they hit it. That was 24 hours ago. So here's GLBE, the chart. And you know what? GLBE also goes with SE. So here's GLBE 2 days after hours.
Wow.
They hit it. I'm the only one in America buying it right here. There's me.
It filled the gap in a day.
I'm buying yesterday. Coach, these are my trades at 15.
Okay.
Now, right now it's 19. I let go of it at 17 to take a profit. So
I would have seen no reason to buy it down there.
Well,
if I hadn't planned it.
But it also goes with SE. And SE is one of our TradeView portfolios stocks, which, by the way, was a nice winner for us. I was selling it pre-open and then I sold some here. So I saw the other, listen, just like it was Walmart versus Home Depot, and Walmart won, which brought down Home Depot. SE is also a major e-commerce stock. So SE is up 16%. And that's why it brought, so SE in the group, you should know SE goes, so SE brought GLB up, and it wasn't the opposite, if you will. You with me?
I am.
So there are some good moves today. Square reverse ups. I mean, there were some reversals. Twitter still is his Twitter. This is another thing that I had in.
Go back to our videos when we were on was the day after Elon made the bid, and the headline of our show is Elon Musk buy of Twitter a canary. And it sure was sure was singing like a canary. What a short.
But it wasn't short, but we were long it. We sold it up here. And by the way, Twitter did come into the gap today. And I thought the market looked a little bit better. And normally I would have 10 to 12,000 shares. But once again, I poisoned myself and let a loser take over. So I was buying it early this morning. I bought it 37. No, hold on a second. Chart parameters this morning. Outside of regular, I think it was up like 4 a.m. I was buying this thing. Here you go. We got up early for a reason here.
That doesn't look bad. A nice entry.
4:30. I'm saying I'll take a shot at 36.
Little ABC correction.
Yeah. We're selling at 37.70.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset right now that it's 36.90. I took the move. I didn't say, okay, maybe I can buy the bottom on Twitter and there'll be a takeover and I can make a lot of my money back and wait for 50. No. I'm a trader. I'm here to take money out, not be right. So, I'm not a home run guy saying, oh my God, I'm down in a couple of positions. Maybe it goes to 46. No, I took $5,000. I move it down. I take some money out of the market. I move on, and it might have helped. Might have makes up for some for a couple of losers. So put your ego aside and trade money, and don't trade the home run. Everybody knows I'm good at hitting doubles and triples. I'm not a grand slam guy. So that's what I did. So where do we sit now? Is at the futures right here. 40-50 coach. This is what's going on right now. What's at the high? AMD, hold on a second.
Yeah, the semis were my favorite group going into this risk on move. So they've kind of just they've been decent performers.
Well, decent performers. This was a backup. This was a backup to truck for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On AMD. Give us a second.
Yeah,
hold on there.
I remember you bought when you were buying AMD.
Well, you have to also know traders' vernacular. When I'm sitting on a desk from everybody, and if the guy's quiet and some guy says, "Hey guys," normally if he's quiet and says, "Hey guys, I really think this what's going," if get to know, their enunciation.
Their
You know what I mean?
temperament.
It's a poker tell. If,
Yeah.
a rookie's got a good poker hand and the guy starts shaking, you're probably going to fold. It's also a tell a little bit.
Yeah.
So what did I say here? So use my vernacular when I say something, and I'm very aware. I under basically fiduciary responsibility and what I say to the public. I have to be careful what I say. Some people might take that as an all in, but I do also,
Everyone
here it
has
is,
to do their own due diligence.
right there.
Everyone,
20,
we don't click people's mouses for them. It's all up to you.
AMD, right here we go. AMD
Yeah.
is on the launch pad. And why did I say AMD is on the launch pad? Because it's not
There you
just
go.
what I say, it's why I said it. And here's AMD on the launch pad.
Yeah.
This was yesterday. Let me clear parameters. So hold on. Let me clear the lines, remove all trends line. AMD showed great relative strength going right
Yeah.
to, that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Could
what
go
else?
115.
BRCC, LITM, ASAN. So I bought ASAN a little bit. This is the weekly chart. So I said I sold the thing a week ago at freaking 20, right?
Yeah.
I bought it. So why don't I buy it back? So right now I'm at 20 to 1 again. I'm not looking for a miracle, but I bought a couple hundred shares, just as they say, wet the beak. Tesla, Lucid, Chinese stocks are acting well. Let's look where JD closes today, because that's, if you will, a best of breed. And JD was a big surprising fade. JD faded from 56 to 50, and I thought that should have held up better. But you know what? That's only one stock. Bob is hanging in there.
Yeah, it's probably the most contrarian trade on the board is to buy the FXI to be long China now.
Lewis is the first one to point it. When it looks its worst, buy it. When it looks its best, fade it. And by the way, I'm not trading it that way because who wants to make a living buying things? You should sell buy and low, sell high, but the China is not the way you want to do it.
Yeah, it's a little opaque over there, Mike. So we're gonna wind it up here. What's the best way for people if they have a question and we're not streaming at the time and they may want to talk to you and discuss some things about the market, maybe want to place some equity to have you trade it?
This is how you do it. This is how you do it. You go right here. And before I even say good morning in the morning, I'll give an example. Gerard asked a question. Let me go back to today because it was important, because he asked good questions. I'm glad he's on it. I think Gerard's making some strides too. Powell testimony later. There are 5 speakers today, Lewis. So you have to have a plan. That in all due respect, you should have kind of had that. Okay. So here's, somebody asked me a question. Boom, I get right back. Well, it didn't happen. Let me go to yesterday because this is an example. The bottom line is get right to TradeGATEHub. It's the first thing I do in the morning, and it's the last thing I do before I sign on.
And how they register? They just go to TradeGATEHub.com and simple
you go right
registration.
To TradeView Market. TradeView, first of all, everybody TradeView Market should be right, first and foremost.
Okay.
Because it's a premier trading platform, and this is just, you know what? If everybody is on here looking at TradeGATEHub, we'll give an example of how comprehensive we are. TradeGATEHub is one tab, if you will. God forbid you click futures, stocks, Forex, platforms of pricing. So we have you and I are multi-year experience. We have 100 years between us, basically, almost trading. And just to show you what TradeView Markets does, that's only one tab. So that'll show you how comprehensive we are. So if you want to get into, you want to, reach us, reach me. This is how I sign in too. My room. Mike V, how are you? Hello. And I'll answer.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, Mike. So we'll see if this has legs. Maybe we get a little pullback. Maybe Putin pulls something. He's getting kind of desperate. How do you think the market would react if he unleashed chemicals or a tactical nuke in Ukraine?
A chemical or tactical nuke?
Or
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know the market wouldn't like it.
I haven't seen that, but I don't. You know what? I'll leave that to professionals. I don't have a frame of reference.
No one does.
This is not in. It's not in. There's no playbook. Tactical.
No, there is no.
So
there is no playbook.
Yeah. So the VIX is obviously going to go nuts, and it'll just go back to my new rule I implemented. I won't take over in overnights. I can easily, well, hold on.
So what might be more probable is, I forgot who was telling us that Paul was speaking today. Oh, Lewis. So Paul's speaking today. So if he's, he'll be out there cawing like a hawk. And if he's the one that creates this pullback from today's highs, like halfway back or so, I know what I'm going to do and what I'm going to advise people to do. So still think we're going to crack today's high. We are in a pullback phase from the first pop, and I think you have to buy this pullback here.
Yeah, we still coach, huh?
Yeah.
All right, we're not going to argue.
All right. So again, Mike, great talking to you. And even the cannabis stocks had a little bit of a run
You know what?
with the market last week.
In my 4 a.m. jaunts, I saw that one of them was up nicely. I forget which one of them I saw.
SNDL had good earnings. ACB, your favorite, Canopy Growth, made a new low last week, but really came back quite strongly. They look okay.
I'll tell you.
I mean, I'm not married to them. I'll pitch them by the end of the month, early June.
I'll tell you, Coach. This is one right here for you and I. Maybe we should be off camera.
Yeah.
But this is one I would stick my. Remember this VFF? I made a nice trade. This stock
Yeah.
I know very well.
Yeah. So it could go to 5.
Well, this is you want to talk about risk rewards. This is what, want to buy a lotto.
Right.
This was a former, look, for example, here is right here. We'll say November 8th.
Yeah.
And this is where VFF was.
Yeah.
So let's go to like CGC November 8th. So, even VFF was higher on a relative price than CGC, and it's cheap. Now it's cheaper than CGC.
Interesting.
That VFF is by the way, I'll just tell you something. What they do is legitimate. Not to say the others on. I know the business. I personally, this has been a fun stock, and I don't make, first of all, I don't put cheap stocks in the fund. I also have rules. I don't do under $5. I adhere to certain market caps, as I should.
Yeah.
But this is one that I play with from time to time, and it might be worth looking at. It's got a run in it. It's good company.
Yeah, I think it could go to 4.5. It'd just be a bear market rally. It broke $6, right?
True.
From 9 to 3.
True.
Okay, so halfway back is 6.
No, risk to reward. I think that's worth a shot. We'll also go to TradeView stocks, what's moving up and down on the day. Lewis, I'll get to your questions answered.
And they're good stocks to own in case your other positions don't work out.
No, I believe that. But how about, no, I understand that. But how about this BROS, this Brothers Coffee still going? There are some cyclical stocks that are still on the weak side. So
great talking to you. Yeah,
you too,
great.
Coach.
Great talking to you, buddy.
All right.
And really, Mike, nice trading, bro.
Oh, well.
All right. So that's a wrap, guys. Come and say hello. And, there are people that see it. I mean, it's, what I've discovered, it's not the guy with the most followers. That doesn't translate into the best traders. And it's not the size of your community that makes it great. Okay, it's the quality of the interaction. And right now is a great time for you guys to be here before we get real busy, because you're going to get more attention now.
Right.
So log in, register at TradeGATEHub.com, and check out TradeView Markets, because they're our sponsor. And that's a wrap, Mike.
It is a wrap. All right. Thank you again, guys. Trade well, have a plan. It's a little after 11:30. I'll go over the video again. The best thing about pressing the red button is you could pause it. When I showed you my menu for my stock screens, if you thought it went too by, go over, pause that screen and look at my stocks that I follow.
Take a screenshot.
Take a screenshot and go, then branch out from there. Same thing with my Twitter followers. I have 52 guys. I could probably follow. I'm friends with hundreds. But, if I follow Walter Bloomberg, if I follow Dale, all people really, birds of a feather or traders of feather flock together. Believe me, I'm not going to go on some, follow some putts on stock twits. You know what I mean? I follow good people. So like I said, I grew up knowing that. So start with the Twitter feed, delete a couple if you like, whatever style you want, and add to them who they follow. And then you build your universe. And when it comes time to execute and comes to 9:30, you're not going to be like, oh, what does GLBD do or whatever. You're going to already know. The plan gets easier. The layups get easier. The 3-pointers will get easier. You know what I mean? So you can stop hitting singles and go for doubles and stretch doubles into triples like I do. So
did you unfollow Bernie Madoff yet?
No.
Okay. All right.
No,
So
I have
that's a
fixed,
wrap.
no, you have to be humble. You have to have a sense of humor. I do follow some people like that, you know.
All right. I'm
I
just
follow
kidding you
Ram
anyway.
Capital. All
I
right, everybody,
follow.
good. Yeah,
All
no
right.
good here on
Anyway,
that.
but Bud Fox, good being with you. Any tips? You like what's that horseshoe?
The
You
Blue
like Blue
Star
Horseshoe?
Airlines? No, Blue
Yeah.
Star Airlines.
All
But
right.
any tips? Yeah, I have a tip for you. Uh, don't sell your losers and hold your winners. That is the holy grail of it, isn't it?
All right. All right. So
Okay,
there you
cheers,
go.
guys. Have a good day. Thanks,
Easier
Coach.
said than done, but
Have a good
Mike,
day.
I've seen Mike do it. Adios, everyone. Thanks, Mike.